Yeah,
because you probably should understand a little bit about the wheat berry.
I'll drop it in.
Let's do it.
So the outside starts with the chaff or the hull, and this is a paper-thin, dry membrane that covers the seed. It protects the seed from the elements while it is still attached to the stalk. Once harvested, the stalks of grain are threshed to release the seeds. The chaff, which is of no nutritional value, must be removed before human consumption. And after the grain is threshed, a subsequent process known as winnowing.
Ooh, sound biblical?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And you blows air through the grain to remove any remaining chaff. Okay. Once the chaff is removed, then next we move on to the bran. The bran is the outermost layer of the seed, several layers thick, and this waxy coat protects the integrity and life of the seed. Okay? It's a rich supply of B vitamins, iron, and other trace minerals, as well as soluble and insoluble fiber, and a good source of protein and enzymes that aid in digestion of the other grain components. So it's very important for digestion, you guys.
Gee.
Bran.
Any of you guys struggling with digestion problems?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look up Prilosec subscription these days. Mm-hmm. How about some antacids? Yeah, it's been eating aluminum dust for a while, haven't you?
Having difficulty having a BM, bowel movement.
That's a nurse talking.
Mm-hmm.
Actual nurse talking.
All right, let's talk about the germ, which is the life of the grain, okay? It's in the germ. The germ is so tiny, you guys. Look at the diagram. It's only 4% to 5% of the grain's weight. However, it is the most nutrient-dense portion of the seed. It is so essential. It is so important. Essential fatty acids, and is one of the most abundant food sources of vitamin E. Hello?
Hello, do you guys know about vitamin E?
Through my studies of biochemistry and physiology, I had read about vitamin E being known to get rid of warts. I didn't remember that until multiple visits to the doctor to no avail. We didn't get rid of the warts. They kept them for years. And finally, when I remembered my studies, I started giving them vitamin E, and their warts went right away. And then my third child got warts, and that was after the bread. A couple of years, we started doing the bread a couple of years later, and he couldn't swallow capsules, which is why he's had the warts for a couple of years to take the vitamin E. The bread came into our home, and the warts were all gone within the month, because grains are the most nutrient-rich food source of vitamin E that we have. No vitamin E capsules was needed for him. And you may be kind of laughing, going, okay, now she sounds like, throw some flour over your shoulder, turn around 3 times, and all your warts will fall off. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about warts are a viral infection. They're a manifestation of a viral infection. And if you do not have enough vitamin E protects the integrity of every cell in your body. And if your cell membrane is weak, then it's more likely to be susceptible to invasion by viruses. Viruses, unlike bacteria, have to come into your cell to reproduce. Bacteria can reproduce on their own. So this invasion of these viruses, which is why we stay so sick with colds and flus and things like that, and warts. And that's why people keep their warts.
Assuming wheat berry. There's more bioavailable vitamin E in this little guy than anything else you can eat. And when you grind it fresh, you get all of that. But when you grind it, the problem is soon after grinding,
yes,
oxidation takes place.
Well,
dang it,
and
oxidation.
Because of that,
starts to break things down like an apple turning brown.
It was going rancid so quickly that people are like, well, how are we going to get it to last longer? We're going to sift all that out. We're going to sift that vitamin E right out of there. We're going to sift the bran and the germ right out of our wheat and get that beautiful fine white flour.
Pastry flour.
Pastry flour, make our little
delicatessens of the kings. You ever read about Proverbs and warning against desiring the king's pastries? Mm-hmm.
This is called the endosperm, you guys. The remaining portion, it makes up the largest percentage, 80 to 85% of the seed. It is the white flour portion. It contains mostly protein and starch, okay? While it has some essential amino acids, it is virtually devoid of vitamins and minerals.
So real quick, that's basically what you've all been eating forever. So if you've eaten bread in your life, it's basically nutrientless, as in there's none.